Hey guys, Chris from the Ultimate Recycler. A little bit of a different video for you this time. I'm dressed up and we're going to have a rock and roll dance in the old hall. The video will touch on a few recycling things, so it's not totally off topic, but just show you around our town. And excuse my messy hair, it's pretty windy here. And there's the lake just opposite the main street here. So let's go and have a look in this old hall. It's the Nagambie Mechanics Institute. Okay, here's the old hall. It's what are we at? It's about 6:30. Oops, nearly got run over. It's about 6:30 in the evening. The sun's just going down. This is our first rock and roll dance that Christine and I are hosting. We actually teach rock and roll dancing, and I'll put a link underneath for our channel if you're keen to learn dancing. But this video is a little bit about this historic old hall. It was built in 1873. Which is the very early days of Nagambie. Lovely old hall. The front of it is used as an opportunity shop or a thrift store or a charity shop, depending where you're from. Let's go inside and have a look. Now the front is pretty well untouched. It's been modified a little bit. It's probably quite echoey, but this is the main entrance to the hall. We have about 100 dancers coming tonight. We have a live band from Melbourne. We might show you a little bit of the dancing, but unfortunately we won't be able to show too much or play too much music. Here's Christine all dressed up in her rock and roll dress. So we're looking forward to getting back to some dancing. So this is the original old hall. And the Mechanics Institute, I think they started in England in the mid-1800s, correct me if I'm wrong. And mechanics is more for technical learning at the time. It's not like you can take your BMW and get a supercharger fitted. In fact, if you had a BMW with a supercharger in the 1800s, I'd be really impressed. So this, often they incorporated libraries, but they were essentially like an early town hall and a place for learning. And a lot of the small towns have lost them over the years to developers, but this one in Nagambie is still going quite strong. There's the kitchen's been revamped. Here's an interesting photo. This was taken in the main hall, which we'll go out to in a tick, in 1930 when the main part was extended. And it was known as the best dance hall in the district. So this is the original 1870s part, and then we'll go through to the main hall and show you that in a minute. Now, a bit about recycling. I did a video after a dance a couple of years ago, and I was going through the rubbish and what we could do with it. This time we're not using disposable cups, we're using all the hall's fine china cups. So it will involve washing, but of course there is a dishwasher here. So there will be no disposable coffee cups going to landfill, which is great. I'm also trying to get our dancers to, hopefully they can read, and I'm trying to get them to recycle as much as I can. I mean, in previous years I've gone through the rubbish and pulled out all the bottles, but hopefully people will learn, well, they should be well aware of it. Hopefully they care enough to do the right thing. All right, let's go into the main hall. As I said, this part was put on in 1930, so it's rather Art Deco, and if you look at the stage down the end, it's got some beautiful Art Deco decorations. Fantastic old hall. It'll be much better once we all have once it goes dark and we have all the lights on. I might give you a bit of footage later on. Original timber floor. It's been polished recently. It's absolutely fantastic for dancing on. And we've got all the tables set out for almost 100 people to come along. The band's sitting down in the corner down there. They're having their dinner before they get started. Bit of a wave from the band. Hey, they're not. Say hi to YouTube. So, so here we go. They're a Melbourne band. They're fantastic. If you happen to live locally, look up Jump and Drive. They're awesome. We have them quite regularly. And all right, we'll do a bit of footage later when everyone gets here and it's dark and we can turn all the lights on. No one's here yet, but we've closed the curtains and it's getting a bit darker outside. And I just thought I'd show you our decorations on the tables. I've grabbed some of my antique jars. That one's a Mason's jar. And we just bought some cheap Bud Lights with a battery pack, and they make fantastic table decorations. Gives the hall a nice ambience. And they're reusable over and over again. We've actually probably used these, I reckon, for probably nearly 10 different dances we've run, and as I mentioned earlier, this is the first one we've run since we've been allowed to, with COVID easing off a bit now. They were cancelled for a couple of years, but these make great displays. I reckon they're fantastic, and we've been reusing those Bud Lights. They're lasting pretty well, and I've also grabbed a couple of lamps and pedestals out of the shop, so it's handy having a second-hand shop. Where else can you go to a dance and actually see prices on things? Oak pedestal, $75. Anyway, there we go. We're just about all set. Christine's just doing a few last little details. The band are finishing their dinner. We'll be rocking and rolling soon. They did say that they do a couple of originals, and if I film when they're doing an original song, it shouldn't present any issues with YouTube's copyright, so we'll see how we go. What's up, Christine? You getting organised?
Yes.
You ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right.
Rock and roll.
Bring on the rockers. Okay, the band have just started their first number. I don't know how well you can hear me, but let's go and have a quick look. Okay, that was one of the band's originals, so hopefully there's no issues with YouTube music. In the kitchen, all my 3 daughters are working like crazy. They've got their own catering business and they're kicking goals. Keep at it, girls. Okay, they've just announced supper break, and the girls have done a fantastic job here catering, and very shortly all the dancers will swarm on these tables like a swarm of locusts, and I think they'll really enjoy their treats. Good job, girls, looks fantastic. Okay, the dance is over, it's just after midnight. We've had a loyal band of helpers help us pack up, the band's packing up. Excellent night, everyone had a great time. And June's sweeping up, thanks June. And look at the rubbish bins, and most people were pretty good. The recycle bins are full of bottles. There's a mistake. These disposable cups aren't recyclable, but most things are pretty good. So that's excellent. It was worth the effort to do that. The supper room's all cleaned up. There's a lot of leftover food, but we've got a few functions coming up, so we'll freeze some and use some of the others. Kitchen's pretty tidy, a few things to do yet. I better get and help, and we'll probably be fairly late to bed tonight by the time we sweep the floors and everything. And then tomorrow back to work. But a successful dance, everyone had a fantastic time. Okay guys, it's the next day. In fact, I've just closed the shop. It's been a rather long day because we didn't get home until after 1 or about 1 a.m. And then of course we have to work on Sundays having tourist shops, but you know, that's what you got to do. Everyone really enjoyed last night. We had a few call in the shop that were at the dance, and you know, we got really good reports, so that's fantastic. We like to put on a good show. Unfortunately, I had someone try to film us, Christine and myself, doing some dancing just to show you guys what we like to do, and the footage didn't turn out, so apologies there. If you really want to see Christine and I doing some rock and roll, if enough of you mention it, well, I might put a little demo up at some stage. Anyway, I think I've put a link underneath to our rock and roll channel anyway. But the recycling and the minimising waste exercise went really well. I'm pretty happy. Let's have a quick look before we finish up. I picked all the bags of rubbish up from the hall this morning, and I had to go and get my lamps and everything just to leave it totally neat. Looking at all the recycling, it was excellent. All the cans and bottles, there was hardly any rubbish. I think I just picked out 1 or 2 little things that shouldn't have been in the recycling. So it's really good to see that if you give people the opportunity, most people want to do the right thing. I think people just get lazy sometimes, but if you make it really evident that you're trying to reduce rubbish going to landfill, people do the right thing. So that was really, really good. I'm really pleased about that. And the rubbish, there really wasn't much, which is great. Here's an example. Unfortunately, we did have some plastic plates which aren't recyclable, and there was hardly any food scraps because my girls catered. They sort of cleaned up all the food scraps. We only used the plastic plates because Christine and I had a lot left over from a house lot we cleaned out. And seriously, if we had have used the china plates at the hall, there would be probably only half a bag of rubbish for 100 people at a dance. So I'm very happy with that. There was a few paper things that probably could have gone in the recycle bins, but mainly the bulk of this is a few Christmas tinsels, which if we had have picked them up before everyone else started helping, we probably could have saved them till next year. There were a few paper flyers, if I can reach this out, that should have gone in the recycle, but generally speaking, I was pretty happy with that. I'm glad I put in the effort. So that was great. So thanks again for watching, guys. I don't think you can complain about not getting variation on my channel. I hope you find it all interesting. I do appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed, please consider that. It does help my channel out. The more growth I get, the more I can devote to doing videos for you. So thanks very much. We'll catch you next video. Bye for now.